Hello guys, welcome back to the Crypto X Hunters channel. This is day 13 of the 21 days challenge of blockchain fundamentals. Today we're going to be covering four main topics. Namely, we'll be covering why the word cryptocurrencies can be very misleading. We will also be diving deeper into the token economics, and we will be checking out the difference on coin versus token, and we were also going to look at why you should or you should not create your own token. So stick with us for the next couple of minutes, and we will dive deep into all these topics. We're starting with homework on cryptocurrencies. Misleading word, of course. So here we have two questions. Question number one, Lego. Why could cryptocurrencies be a misleading word? Well, in the sense that for a lot of people, their entry point into cryptocurrencies is via Bitcoin, and this can be very misleading because we all know that cryptocurrencies are more than just currencies, and as we spoke about we defined cryptocurrencies in the previous days. We said that actually cryptocurrencies are programmable assets, so it's not just a currency. It can be a currency, but it can also represent something else. So that's why it's it can be very misleading sometimes. Question number two, why is it important to point out these differences in use cases? Well, this is very important because, first of all, if people don't have the right information, so the usage or the adoption is not going to scale, or it's going to be suppressed in a way. And not only that, but even more importantly, regulators or even politicians, they are the people who really need to understand this concept, because they are the ones who are going to make rules, who are going to make laws. And if they make laws without understanding the full meaning of cryptocurrencies, well, these laws that they're going to make, it can lead to the killing of innovation, and it can also this can also suppress the usability of cryptocurrencies, because if there is a law that doesn't really sync with what the real meaning of cryptocurrency, maybe this law is a barrier for people or for innovators to even go and follow that route to create something. So this is very important that lawmakers understand this topic. Homework on token economy. Two questions. Question number one, what is a token and how can it be used? Well, a token is an object that represents something else. For example, an object which can be both physical or even virtual, and this can usually be exchanged for the token itself. So this object that is physical or that is virtual can be exchanged for the token itself. So in the space of token economy and cryptocurrency, it's usually an asset created by the company when the token represents something in their business model. So this is mostly going to be the case. So for example, it can be a t-shirt. The token can represent a t-shirt in a t-shirt factory. It can represent a house in a building company. It can represent a car in a car company, loyalty points in a shop, whatever. Can even in some cases can even represent an equity. It can also be stakes or shares in the company itself. So the use of a token is only then limited by your imagination, plus of course the laws and regulators. So if you remember what we said, if regulators don't understand crypto economics or cryptocurrencies, they are going to make laws that are going to limit the use of tokens. So I really like I like this sentence in a way That's it. And this sentence is like, the use of a token can only be limited by your imagination. Normally, that should be it. But of course, you also have to take into consideration that the law can also limit the use of a token. Question number 2. What are the benefits of using a token compared to, for example, a regular stock or loyalty point? Well, a token, as we all know, can be programmable, and that makes them, of course, very versatile and usable for multiple purposes. And they also have more functionality than the traditional representations of value, of course. And not only that, but also one of the very important points is tokens, they also enable financial inclusion through ICOs, of course. So anybody in the economy of token economy, everybody then can just become an investor. Of course, you have to take sometimes into consideration that some countries will always be excluded depending on the law. Like most of the times when you see an ICO, you will also notice that sometimes US citizens or Chinese citizens or maybe some other country are always excluded from participation. Homework on coin versus token. Question number 1. What's the difference between a coin and a token? Tokens are mostly developed on existing foundation ground floor projects. For example, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Stellar. So token projects will be developed on top of that. So the coin or the cryptocurrency is oftentimes a new blockchain or foundation project created without any ecosystem or platform underneath. And to go deeper into that, let me just dive into question number 2. In what situation should you create a token instead of a coin, and vice versa? So when you're making a new blockchain, that's when you should create a cryptocurrency or a coin. It's one and the same thing. A coin and a cryptocurrency is actually one and the same. So let me say I'm creating Ethereum. Ether is a coin and it's a cryptocurrency. It's not a token. And on the other hand, when you're creating a decentralized application, that is when you need a coin, because this application is going to run on an existing platform, on an existing blockchain. So you don't need a coin, you need a token. And an example of token is, for example, basic attention or PunDX or Funfair. So for the last section of today, we have homework on creating your own token. Also 2 questions here. Question number 1, since blockchain is nothing more than a database, why shouldn't we just use it across the board for all businesses? Well, today this is not a good idea because maybe in the future it's going to be on point, but as for today of making this video, blockchain is ineffective. Let me just say it's still ineffective and very, very complicated in many ways, and it's also very expensive, of course. And if you compare that with traditional database, they can do most of the things that the blockchain can, and they do that much easier and cheaper. So there are many use cases for blockchain, but it's not just for everyone. Question number 2, why is loyalty points a valid use case of the blockchain, even though it can be developed cheaper and easier with traditional technology? Well, because the futures in blockchain is much more better. So let's say they have what you see, you can trade on exchanges. Customers can exchange their points for other points or for cash. So for example, I have my X token, and I can go to an exchange and change it for Y token, or I can just change it for fiat, and by fiat I mean cash, euros or USD dollars or whatever currency I want. That is on the exchange, of course. So those are my answers on today's homework. So to give you a summary, today we talked about cryptocurrencies as a word, why it can be very misleading. We talked about the token economy. We talked about creating our own tokens, and we also talked about the difference between a coin and a token. So if there's anything else that you would like to add, or you think it's good or it's not good what I said, please leave a comment down below. If you're enjoying the content, give me a like, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel for more content on blockchain and cryptocurrencies. That was it for today. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the attention. I'm Victor and I'm checking out. See you on day 14.